Hi, I'm Mary Ann Schilling, UW-Madison Division of Extension Health and Wellbeing Educator, and welcome to 8 Ways to Wellness. Discover the dimensions for a healthier you, physical well-being. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, also known as SAMHSA, has identified 8 dimensions of wellness to focus on in order to optimize health. The University of Wisconsin-Madison Division of Extension has developed this module based on the work of SAMHSA, along with other research-based resources. Before we get started, I'd like you to reflect on what's one thing that you're currently doing to support your physical well-being. The objectives of this class include understanding the 6 areas of the physical health dimension and identifying 1 or 2 areas of physical health that you want to improve, and then setting a specific goal in at least 1 area. So in contrast to poor health, wellness is a state of living a healthy lifestyle. It's an ongoing process and lifelong journey, not a one-time event. Wellness is often categorized into several interconnected dimensions. It's a holistic integration of physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. This slide illustrates 8 different dimensions of wellness: the environmental, emotional, financial, social, spiritual, occupational, environmental, intellectual, and physical dimensions. There needs to be balance among all the dimensions in order to live your life fully. However, that balance will look very different for each person depending on their individual beliefs, priorities, and aspirations. The goal is to find a personal harmony with the dimensions that are most authentic to you. Wellness is not the absence of disease, illness, or stress, but the presence of optimal health and physical and behavioral health. Having a purpose in life, having active involvement in satisfying work and play, experiencing joyful relationships and happiness. You can't reach a state of wellness passively. It requires active awareness, acceptance, and commitment through choices you make every day, no matter how small. There are a variety of issues that may impact our ability to implement the actions that lead to ideal physical health. Reasons that have been identified to not eat well, not get in physical activity, have trouble sleeping, or overuse of alcohol or other drugs include stress, anxiety, and depression. When you experience anxiety, your fight or flight response kicks in and causes the central nervous system to release certain stress hormones. People may experience chronic stress as a result of adverse childhood experiences, which are referred to as ACEs. Being in a good mental state can help keep you healthy and prevent serious health conditions. A study found that positive psychological well-being can reduce the risk of heart attacks and strokes. On the other hand, poor mental health can lead to poor physical health or harmful behaviors. People experiencing depression often present with vague aches and pains. Sometimes people may be overtired or bored, which could lead to making less healthy choices, such as overeating or drinking. Health conditions can also be an issue that can affect the ability or drive to do physical activity. For example, issues that can affect the appetite could include digestive conditions, such as irritable bowel syndrome and Crohn's disease, a hormonal condition known as Addison's disease, asthma, diabetes, chronic liver or kidney disease, high calcium levels in the blood, HIV or AIDS, or even an underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism. Research shows that a number of genes that affect eating behavior may be passed down through families. Those genes can affect brain circuits that control appetite and mood. Another thing that can affect our physical health is our family life. Perhaps you watched your mom or your dad overeat, drink, or use medications or other drugs. The habits you learn from the people around you may influence the way you eat in general. Another factor is illness. When we're ill, we may not feel well enough to eat well, to be active, and medications may affect our appetite or ability to implement wellness activities. Another issue is age. About half of the physical decline associated with aging may be due to the lack of physical activity. Without regular exercise, people over the age of 50 years can experience a range of physical or of health problems, including reduced muscle mass, strength, and physical endurance, reduced coordination and balance. Daily volume of foods and beverages also declines as a function of age. On the positive side, older adults tend to eat less sweets and fast foods and consume more grains, fruits, and vegetables. Take a moment to reflect on how these issues may affect your physical health. Next, let's start talking about nutrition. Good nutrition means having access to a variety of healthy foods, including vegetables, fruits, lean meats, low-fat dairy, and whole grains. Healthy foods may come in the form of fresh, frozen, or canned. We recognize that some individuals and families may lack access to nutritious food for a variety of reasons, including unsupportive environments, such as not having a grocery store nearby or a lack of transportation, etc. So reflect on this. When you eat a variety of healthy foods, what benefits do you experience and how do you feel? Some possible answers may be that you feel like you have more energy, or you have less digestion or less heartburn. Maybe you sleep better. Maybe you have less bloating. Or maybe you have a healthier cholesterol, blood glucose level, or a healthier blood pressure. Now think about, how do you feel when you don't eat these healthy foods and you maybe eat high fat or sugary foods? You may feel sluggish, bloated, you might feel guilty, you might feel like you have heartburn. Maybe you don't sleep as well. So healthy foods, they can be purchased, whether it's fresh, like now in the summer, or frozen or canned. And you may lack that access to healthy foods. So how do you access a variety of healthy foods? What keeps you from choosing healthy foods to eat? The reasons could include that grocery store that's farther away, or maybe a full schedule that presents a challenge for shopping and preparing foods. Maybe you have some poor eating habits, such as eating late at night or choosing a high fat or high sugar snack. So I encourage you, don't rely on willpower to eat healthy. If you have chips or cookies that you find irresistible, don't keep them around. Don't waste your mental energy by trying to stay strong. Remove temptation from your home and office. Eating more meals at home means you're more likely to be more aware of what you eat. Are you in a position to eat at home or prepare your foods at home so you can better track what you are feeding your body? It's been found when you eat out, you are less likely to eat a healthy meal. Later, I'll share with you many resources that are available to learn how to improve your eating habits. Did you know that 1 out of 3 Americans use a tablet or cell phone while eating? This has become known as zombie eating. Are you a zombie eater? While phones interfere with the eating experience itself, they actually deny us the opportunity to really enjoy the food that we are eating. When the brain is hypnotized by that smartphone screen, it underutilizes sensory elements such as sight, smell, touch, and sound, which are all closely linked to eating. And because the body is failing to appreciate these important senses, our ability to enjoy the food diminishes. Eating with distractors increases caloric intake by approximately 15%. Smartphone or computer and tablet use during a meal increases that intake and fat intake, potentially adding as many as 500 calories per day. I would like to encourage you to reflect on these two questions. What motivation do you have for eating healthy? Maybe you want to be healthy for your children or grandchildren, family, or friends, or a partner. Maybe it's because you feel better when you eat well. Maybe you want to avoid chronic diseases such as diabetes or heart disease or cancer. Or maybe it's because your family has a history of a disease and you don't want to have that. Earlier, we identified issues that may get in the way of physical health. Are there issues from that slide that affect your eating healthy? So those issues, if I may remind you, include stress and anxiety, depression, boredom or tiredness, genes or your family genetics, health conditions, illnesses, medications, and age. You can improve your eating by setting a doable goal for a small change today. What would you set as your goal around eating healthier today? How would you break it down into what you need to do to make that happen? What would that do for your diet this week and this month? You can improve your diet by setting goals with small changes each day, week, or month. To do this, think about one goal you can set around nutrition. Then begin to identify what resources you would need to reach that goal. For more guidance, check out choosemyplate.gov. At this point, we'll have a sharing activity, and you would share answers to these questions. Reflect on this. What is your favorite physical activity? What gets in the way of your doing that activity? And normally in a group, we would come back together and hear those activities. So in addition to eating well, physical activity is key to maintaining a healthy body. Maintaining a healthy weight is about matching the calories you eat with the calorie your body uses. What motivation do you have for getting physically active? I want you to reflect on that and again, think about that. Is it for your family or friends or a loved one? Maybe it's because you just feel better when you exercise and you sleep better. Maybe again, you want to avoid chronic diseases like heart disease, cardiovascular disease, cancer, or diabetes. Maybe your family has a history of a disease and you don't want to have that. Maybe it's because you want to be able to move more easily and you don't want to fall. Physical activity can decrease your risk of falling. So earlier you reflected on what gets in the way of getting in physical activity. And we identified some issues that may get in the way. Are there other issues that prevent you from getting physical activity in? Maybe those include stress and anxiety or depression. Maybe you're just bored or tired and just don't feel like it. It might be genes or the example your family members have set. Could be health conditions that you have or an illness, or maybe some medications or your age. So here's a list of things that you can do to get in your physical activity. Or here's a list that can get in the way of your physical activity. One thing that gets in the way is negative thoughts just about physical activity in general, or maybe negative thoughts about your personal physical ability. Maybe your support system has failed and your friends or family don't support your goals. Perhaps you have no routine. Consistency is the most important routine for fitness. Boredom can get in the way. So do something different and do something that excites you. Or monotony. The same routine over a period of time can lead to burnout. Unwritten goals. And later on, you'll have to have a chance to write a goal around physical activity. Maybe it's inconvenience or difficulty. Don't plan to go to the health club if it's an hour away. Choose what fits your need. Consider making a fitness appointment with a friend or family member to help you stay motivated. Maybe it's obligation and you just feel like physical fitness is a chore. Then you'll have a minimum of success. Maybe you expect perfection. When your fitness is derailed, look for ways to get back on track for what you are able to do. And then not being able to do physical activity because of a health condition or illness can get in the way. We can also feel better by creating a routine that balances activity with inactivity, and that is manageable within our obligations and needs. Recommendations for adults are to get at least 2 hours and 30 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity each week, 2 days of muscle strengthening each week, and daily balance exercises. The benefits of exercise can be seen after just 60 minutes of activity per week. Every bit helps, even if it's just 10 minutes at a time. I'd like to encourage you to check out the CDC guidelines for adult physical activity. That resource will be offered at the end of this PowerPoint. Ways to get active include getting in fun activity like dancing, riding a bike, playing softball, hiking, ice skating, or exercising with friends at a pool, a fitness group, or a strong bodies class. Make it easy by taking shortcuts like parking farther away in the parking lot, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Work towards a healthy body mass index, known as BMI, which is an estimate of body fat and is based on your body weight and height. BMI is a good measure of risk for diseases that can occur when overweight or obese. The benefits of exercise include keeping your mind sharp, helping you to feel better, fighting weight gain, lowering your risk of disease, strengthening muscle, improving balance, and reducing fall accidents. Try these ideas to get you started with improving your physical activity. Look through fitness and other magazines for exercises that you can do at home. Check out free resources such as on YouTube to learn how to do stretching, Tai Chi, or other exercises. And search for tracking tools like myfitnesspal.com that will show you how far you've come. Good sleep practices are important to physical well-being. Let's consider these questions about sleep. Are you getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night whenever possible? Are you avoiding screen time within a few hours of bedtime? Are you avoiding caffeine and large meals before going to bed? What works for you to have a good night's sleep? What gets in the way of your getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep in a night? Try managing your routine to carve out time to rest and sleep. Consider practicing yoga, meditation, or other stress reducing techniques to help you relax and get a good night's sleep. Our next topic in physical wellness is use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. As an adult, it's recommended to limit your alcohol intake to no more than 2 drinks per day for a male and 1 drink per day for a female. It is okay to socialize and not drink alcohol. Consider drinking juice with seltzer water, consider flavored water or water with fruit. So some questions for you to think about. Have you tried tools that can help you cut down or quit using tobacco products, alcohol, or other drugs? Are you reaching out to family or friends instead of using substances when you're going through a tough time? Are you being mindful of triggers that make you want to use substances? And do you have a plan that can help you avoid them? As you may know, Wisconsin is the heaviest drinking state in the country. Alcohol-related falls cause 35% of acute alcohol-related deaths in Wisconsin. We have twice as many people dying in Wisconsin from alcohol-related falls as we do from motor vehicle crashes. The same number of people die from alcohol poisoning. Also, the same number die roughly from the result of a completed suicide that's alcohol-related. We can do a lot to improve the health of Wisconsin by drinking a little less, and we can stop a lot of these tragedies by getting a grip on binge drinking. Similar to nutrition and physical activity, there are issues in the use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. What issues affect you in this aspect of physical health? This might include families and friends' use, the culture of where you live. It may be a genetic predisposition. For example, your parents or your grandparents drank, smoked, or used drugs. Or maybe using when stressed, depressed, or anxious. Support is in your community. Find support groups and 12-step groups like Alcoholics Anonymous, known as AA, or Narcotics Anonymous, NA, and attend meetings. If you or someone you know or love needs help in this area, please reach out for help. Consider engaging in hypnosis, acupuncture, or nicotine replacement therapy to curb the smoking habit. Another area of physical well-being is practicing medication safety. Some things to think about with medications include, do you wear medical alert jewelry to help others help you? Are you storing medications properly and reviewing the expiration dates? Get rid of unused medications at drug drop boxes in your community or at drug take-back days. Check with your local health department or Department of Aging for more information. Do you carry a list of your medications with you in case of emergency? Talk to your doctor using a process of shared decision-making when you are unsure about a prescription or need guidance. Learn more about potential side effects at consumermedsafety.org or consumerreports.org. The last item to consider in physical well-being is the practice of preventative medicine. Do you routinely visit your doctor, dentist, or other healthcare providers to discuss preventative health care? Do you know how to access health screenings to check your blood pressure, waist circumference, and blood sugar to prevent chronic conditions like diabetes? Preventing chronic diseases like cancer, which is now the leading cause of death in Wisconsin, heart disease, strokes, and diabetes can give you a longer and healthier life. In addition to seeing your healthcare provider, you can visit your local public health department for more resources. Consider seeing a holistic health provider, attend extension health classes like this one, or go to community health fairs to learn more about health prevention. I'd like you to take a minute to reflect on what area of physical well-being you want to work on this week and this month. What are 2 to 3 things you can do for yourself to improve your physical well-being? Do this for yourself. You learned about nutrition, physical activity, sleep, alcohol, tobacco and other drug use, medication safety, and preventive medicine. Now, I want you to take time right now to write down what you will do. Go ahead and pause the video while you do this. And then write down what will you need to complete, what you are going to do. Reflect on what you've written down and how that will impact your physical well-being. Who are you willing to share this plan with? These are some UW-Madison Division of Extension Healthy Eating and Active Living resources available to you through your UW-Madison Extension Healthy Eating and Healthy and Active Living program. The resources include information on healthy eating and active living, active communities, food security and healthy food access, the Strong Bodies program, and youth advocates for community health. I'd also like you to look at these links that are available as resources. My Plate at choosemyplate.gov. CDC has information on how much physical activity adults need at cdc.gov, physical activity, basics for adults. There's also a 9 tools to help you quit smoking, and consumer med safety. If you have any questions, please contact me, Mary Ann Schilling at wisc.edu. And thank you so much.